Hello there, I'm back online live once again, this time to start a brand new game, one that's bit of things to talk about, but yes, how are we all doing? Welcome to the stream. How you doing, Tom and Proserpina? Nice to see you guys again. Yes, anyone who's new here, I'm late to the beard party. Pretty much sticking with emulation these days. The amount of games that I've been able to get running in emulators is amazing, and some that I honestly thought I'd never be able to emulate, like the one I'm going to be starting tonight. Just the usual thing, we have loads of links down below if you would like to have a look at those. Yes. Yes, the game that we are playing, let's hope this works. Yes, is as it says in the description, the tag is Heavenly Sword on the PS3. Now, this is running on the RPCS3 emulator, which is still in alpha. Where's the version? It's still on version 0.0.29. So this is still like prototype levels of emulation. The fact it works at all and is able to run games through to the end is absolutely phenomenal. And it can even improve some games as well. I've changed a couple of settings on this, so I've actually got it running at 60 FPS, which the original hardware wouldn't do. Whether it had the power to do it or not, I don't know. It was an early PS3 game, so optimizations and things that they didn't know about, they might have been able to get it running. But yes, I did play this game back in the day, but I never finished it. I think I got distracted by other games. Now, I do have a slight issue with the way this displays. Because I play on a 4K monitor, I've got resolution scaling switched on. And for some reason, I can't get it to not scale up the screen. On my monitor, it's set to 1080p, which should be a quarter of the screen on 4K. But it's not. It's the size of what would be 1440p, and there's nothing I can do about that at all. As I say, the emulator's still in prototype, so there's every possibility I might not be able to finish this. So yeah, one of the reasons I wasn't sure about PS3 and also Xbox 360 as well was the whole thing about updates and things. But actually, it turns out they're all freely available. As long as you've got the game, you can actually download them from the legitimate servers. Doing it on PC is a little bit tricky, but you can still do it. For RPCS3, you do need the firmware, but you can get that from Sony's website. It's actually one of the easiest emulators to set up I've ever seen. Yeah, this game was intended to be like one of the games that really showed off the PS3, and for the time it was. There were games later on that completely outstripped what this game could do, God of War 3 being one of them. I mean, God of War 3 is one of those games that on this emulator, you're actually recommended to not play it, because that game is so graphically intense. Even a machine like mine, which is like quite monstrously powerful, struggles to run it. And I think with all the settings set to default, as in exactly how it appeared on the PS3, I think sometimes it's dropping to like 20 FPS, and some of the game sections actually fail to work properly because triggers get jumped and things, and you end up appearing outside of where you're supposed to and you fall to your death, which is not fun. I've heard of some people who've managed to get it running at like 100 FPS, and I've got no idea what they've done to do that, but yeah, I'd love to replay God of War 3 because that was an awesome game. But this game has, in the years since it came out, has been dubbed Goddess of War. Because in essence, it is a God of War game, just with a female lead. One of the things I'm really looking forward to seeing again as well is Andy Serkis. You might see him in the top left-hand corner of the screen. He plays the villain for this game, a guy named King Bohan. I think the story behind the game is that the lead character, a girl named Nadiko, her tribe have been protecting this thing called the Heavenly Sword because anyone who uses it becomes like unstoppable, but it kills them in the process over a length of time. It like saps them away, and as you can guess, they're in a situation where an evil king is wanting to steal it away from them, and in order to basically stop them, she decides to use the sword herself. Literally, the game opens with a bit right towards the end, which isn't a spoiler. It literally is the opener to the game. Now, exactly how this is going to run, I don't know, because I've only done a little bit of testing with recording with the emulator going, so I haven't been able to test it while actually streaming. I think there is a way you can do stream tests. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to be playing with Xbox controller at the moment. I can plug in my PS4 controller because that will give me like the 6-axis stuff on there, but it's not necessary for this game. There's a couple of ones that I would like to play at some point that do need the 6-axis. And it's actually quite impressive that this emulator can even pick up the 6-axis controllers on PC. Which, yeah, I'm rambling off here, aren't I? So let's get into the game. Now I need to unpause it. I think it's decided it doesn't want to. Yeah, that's a great way to start. Okay, I'm going to close it down and reopen it. So I'm guessing there's going to be no emulator pausing if it's going to do that. Right. Get OBS to pick up the picture. There we go. Yeah, it's got to do some a whole bunch of building of old systems each time it runs. I'm not entirely sure why, but what it's effectively doing is it's porting the game from PS3 to PC. That's the kind of level of emulation these days, rather than actually reading the program code and loading through, just running through instruction by instruction. It takes all of the code and converts it to the local system. So, again, that's another reason why I'm amazed this sort of thing works. But yes, here we are. I do have a save already, but I want to go from the beginning. So now the pre-rendered cutscenes for this are all 30 FPS, but the gameplay should hopefully be in 60. The game was intended for 30 though, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully the audio's good. Let me know if it's too loud or quiet. I can change it.
Not have been. It was written that 23 years ago, in the year of the fire horse, a deity would be reborn in the body of a mortal man. A saviour, destined to unite our people and show us the way to the promised land. Instead, I was born from my mother's dying body, and my people wept. They said I was a portent of doom.
Bit quiet.
Maybe they were right.
If it's a little quiet, I might have to shut the game down to... Oh! How's that? May have just been that cutscene.
My clan believed this sword was forged in heaven for a deity. No mortal may wield it in battle without its power draining their life. The clan's duty is to protect the sacred weapon. Even in our darkest moments, the sword was never to be used. But I wielded the heavenly sword, savored the grace and fury in my blows, never once forgetting what I was offering for such power. Days ago, I made my fatal choice.
Hello, Andy.
The pact is at an end. Now I must pay the price.
Yeah, that didn't look fun, did it?
never been one for prayer. The gods seldom listen. There was a time when I would have welcomed death, but now I would walk through hell for a chance to change this. No! No, wait!
Could be cutscene audio's a bit low.
Why have you taken me now? Please, send me back. Let me go. Without me, they will perish. Answer me! I am not ready to die. Not yet.
Right, just going to have a look at the options, see if I've... yeah, all the volumes are at max at the moment. So... yeah, well, it looks like combat's going to be quite loud and cutscenes are going to be quiet. Not sure what I can do about that. I think I'll stick with it for now. Because hopefully it should be okay. But yeah, and literally this is where the the game plays from. Whenever you load the game in, it brings you here, so you can select the chapters you want to play. And at the moment, I've only got access to chapter 1. It's jumping a little bit. Yeah, I think these days there'll be comments about the costume for this character. What's interesting though is there was an interview on the disc that you can watch in the bonus features where the woman who played Nariko and did all the mocap for her, Anna Torv, I think her name was, she actually really loved the costume. I think she said that she'd love to be able to get away with it. Yeah, the hair's a bit mad. They're not really moving realistically. But yeah, let's see how it goes.
Rohan, a king from a distant country, seeks the heavenly sword. He seeks it as a symbol of his dominance over my clan, and with it, his dominance over the land. Rohan has hunted us for months, and he is relentless. My people are great warriors, but we cannot run forever. Kai!
I don't like these drones. I don't like them.
We've got to get to the fort. Now!
Yeah, he does.
We'll be trapped like rats in here.
Even rats can become tigers when trapped.
And tigers make great trophies when skinned.
Enough! Climb the walls and keep watch.
As you command, Father.
What are you waiting for? Barricade the doors?
Yes, Master Shen.
They're scaling the walls!
Yeah, some neat tricks to scale the walls there. I've still left all the tutorials on because I need to remember what all the controls were. Even though I already did combat at the beginning. Yep, I've got some camera control, which is something I don't remember ever using. At the moment, she's just using normal weapons, so aside from sliding down the ladder. Yeah, like Sekiro, this game's going to need quite a bit of concentration. Building combos without taking damage. Oh yeah, the game is unlocking artwork for me already. Where's the rest of them? Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Oh. Smash pods to restore health, okay. Is that all of them?
Certainly, King. See, we will not die as your slaves, Mothman.
The fight is ours, clansmen, but the battle still rages.
Shen. He has always been my tutor first, and my father second. My accursed birth and the death of my mother were hard for him. I fear that part of him can never truly forgive me for that.
There! Look! Another wave approaching!
Oh, another lot. Right. Yep, I've been doing that. Oh! Try that again. Come on. Let's see what's going on most of this. Yeah, the combat gets a little more interesting once.
One battle at a time, brothers. One battle at a time.
Well, men,
Yeah, once we actually get the sword.
your ancestors.
Okay.
You know why this is happening, don't you?
Now is not the time. We cannot afford to fight amongst ourselves.
Let him speak.
You know as well as I do. We all know who brought this curse down upon us.
I am no curse.
Enough! This war is of one person's making, that much is true. But that person is not Mariko. This
Come on, Shen. How long have we known each other? Stop hiding from the
is
truth.
King Bohan's war. Even as an arrogant young prince, he was capable of cruelty beyond measure. Now he commands an entire army. We fight together or we die alone. And that means all of us. Assassins. Approaching from the forest. Kai. Kai. Listen to me, Kai. I want you to climb the trees and shoot at any soldiers you can see. Can you do that for me?
Twang Twang. Is it playtime? Yes.
Yeah, they had to have weird characters.
Nariko, where do you think you're going?
Shh. You've had your playtime. It's Kai's turn now.
Right. Oh. 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 Keep missing. Interesting it hasn't counted all the misses I've made. Where are they? Oh. I think the misses are the ones that actually managed to get through. Oh. Oh. Right over his head. How did that miss? Oh, did it again. Go for this one this time. Oh no, he's... Okay, that was a shot. Oh, they're actually managing to dodge these. I mean, this is kind of cheating, using this. Anyone else? Anyone else on their way?
What's happening? Don't stop!
One's nearly got through. Got him. Oh. On the waist a shot. Oh. Oh, one got through. Stop the others. Oh no, you don't. Oh. Oh, more are getting through. Ah. Oh. Oh, nah. Right. I think Nariko's got to deal with the remainder. Okay. Oh. Deal with him. Okay. And to the next bit.
You may collect the bodies of your men and give them a dignified burial.
More decency than Bohan deserves, but I suppose he's men.
All my life, I've had a recurring dream. In my dream, I see my father. He is standing above me. He raises the sword above his head. I try to call out to him and tell him to stop, but the sword strikes down.
Mm-hmm.
But this night, it wasn't a dream. The sword is now mine to protect, and my life will change forever.
You are needed, Nariko! Get up here!
I'm going to stop here and try something. I'm going to raise the volume of the the main game because unfortunately I don't think it works when the actual game's running. So give me a moment. Okay. Right. Okay, so I've upped the volume of the whole thing, so everything's going to be louder now. So I think if I reduce the music, because normally music or cutscenes are tied to music, so hopefully it should be a bit better. What I might do when I do the VOD is I'll split out the audio sections that need to be a bit louder, so the VOD might have sounded a little bit better. We'll see. Yeah, it's been a little bit not that action-packed. Well, the combat hasn't been exactly as fun as God of War so far, but I haven't got the sword yet, and I know things do get a lot more. There we go, that should be a bit louder. Definitely is for me. Right, so let's start. Take the music volume down a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Right, let's just jump straight into the latest chapter. Hopefully, it's going to be a bit louder. Hopefully. So yes, we've seen what they have to do.
You are needed, Nariko. Get up here.
So it only sounds a little bit louder to me. How's it sound for you guys? Okay. Certainly can manage it. Let's put that not by much. But I did drop the the cutscene music, so probably should have done this prep beforehand, but then again, you never know how loud things are going to be and what balancing is going to be like. There's no option to skip the splash screens. There is one for God of War 3 on this. It literally just skips all of them. I think Demon Souls as well. It has that option. Oh yeah, back in those days, everything was Havoc physics. I'm not even sure if Havoc is still around. Havoc was a company that created their own physics engine that they licensed out to practically the whole industry, and virtually every game that used physics used Havoc in those days. I think it's all now built into yeah. Okay, right. Volume levels be damned. If I have to turn it down for myself, I will do. Yeah, let's try again. Turn it down ever so slightly. Hopefully that should be even louder again. It should pick up where we were.
You are needed, Nariko. Get up here.
How's that? Yeah, that's definitely sounding louder for me. Yeah, that looks like it's a lot louder.
Cover us while we stage a retreat to the west, then make a break for the eastern cliffs and above all, keep the sword safe.
Don't leave me! Take me with you!
Kai, you come with me!
No, Kai! Go with Father! I'll find you again! I promise!
Okay. Okay, shiny things that need to be hit with cannonballs, which can somehow be directed. Yeah, this front one's going to be tricky. Yeah. Oh, there's one in the middle here.
Well done. Good work, Nariko.
Okay, how they're able to do this, I have no idea, but last one.
Working. We will make a break for the frozen river. Cover our backs with the cannon, and remember, if you see catapults, head east and don't stop running.
Okay. Right, so just... Oh. Kill as many as possible. Nice big load here. Oh, I just hit one right in the face. Oh. Or just mashing. Certainly a target-rich environment. Okay, we haven't even got the Heavenly Sword, but we started using the sword and we already killed the hundreds. Okay. Ah yes, more catapults. Right. That must have been painful, rolling with that on your back.
Now I have to get away. If I'm captured, the Heavenly Sword is lost, and the clan's sacrifice will have been in vain.
Yep.
I only got enlisted yesterday. I didn't think it would be like this.
Just keep going. You'd think she would run a bit faster.
You stay here. I'll see if I can find some real soldiers. Someone kill her.
Yeah, I'm not worried about
I
killing
hear
all of
you've
them.
been killing my men. Come.
Yeah, the gate further up won't open yet. Ow. Stab more while they're down. Right. Yeah, needed to clear those to be able to use that gate. Yeah, she's not doing a very good job of getting out of here, is she? Okay.
Oh, not her. I ain't sticking around here.
Oh, he's legging it. Right, okay. I've got to take a different route. Well, that was easy. Can pick up weapons to throw at people. This is certainly a large area. Some of it's vaguely coming back to me. Oh dear. Even bigger, oh dear.
Father!
Dear me, such a heavy sword for such a fragile creature. Come, child, let me take your burden.
Never!
Leave me, Narco! Get the sword away from here! The line must not be broken!
Perhaps I'm not making myself clear. I have something of yours, and you have something of mine.
Always wondering what you have no comprehension of. I see the years since we studied together have taught you nothing.
No! Shut up!
And he's brilliant.
Shut up. Actually, Shen, they have taught me that everything comes to he who waits, but quicker yet to he who takes.
As I said, he stole the show.
No, that wouldn't be wise. That wouldn't be wise at all.
Every lifetime has one moment. You stand alone and you see it all so clearly. To save my father's life, I betray his whole reason for living. I know it's death I'm holding now. Did I ever have a choice?
What have you done, Mariko? What have you done?
Now it gets interesting. Or at least that's how I remember it. Master of the Heavenly Sword. Okay.
Enough! Bring me that sword. And if she still happens to be attached to it, so much the better.
3 ways: speed stance, range stance, and power stance. Okay. In speed stance, there's quick. Okay. Right.
You heard the king.
Stop wasting my time!
Okay, more of them. Okay, range stance. Okay. Multiple enemies at a distance, but does little damage. So just hold L1.
Get that sword!
Yep, this is certainly and I imagine
You're worth 20 of her.
Get in there!
Kill the scabby wench.
that's got a scabby wench. Oh. Ow.
Talk about it, just do it!
Get that sword.
Okay, who's next?
What are you doing? Am I watching a ballet? Kill her!
Okay. Now the power mode. Okay. Yeah, you can yell all you want, Andy, but you're not getting it. And there's more of them. These guys are a mixture. Okay, yep.
Stop lying down! Get up and kill her, you coward!
Oh, it is pretty, isn't it? Yes, yes, I like that. I like it a lot. Oh, please give it to me, or else I'll kill the old man painfully. And I can be quite inventive.
Get the sword away from him!
Kill her.
The sword does have power. I can feel it. In fact, I'm counting on it. If what is written is true, its power will soon drain my life force and it will kill me. By wielding it, I have become a ghost of flesh and blood. But really, what was I before?
Probably a splat after that.
You made me an outsider. You made me not care. What have you done to me? What have I become? You've turned me into a killer.
Well, you were pretty good at that beforehand. Ah yes, chapter 2. Actually, as I think about it, let's just put the volume for the music back up to maximum, just in case that does make a difference. And, yes.
Bird or worms? It's tasty.
The others. Father. Where are they?
Gone.
Dead?
Not dead. Gone.
Gone where?
Master Shen said I must hide.
And did you?
Yes. No. Well, a bit.
Please, Kai, you have to tell me what happened.
I got bored. I climbed a tree. I saw those soldiers again.
And?
They had Master Shen and some of the others.
She's almost like Gollum. Yeah, she reminds me a lot of Gollum, Kai.
This was once a place of tranquility and learning.
Wonder if that was deliberate.
Now Bohan has ravaged its beauty with his mark of corruption. I can feel the suffering of my father and our clansmen there, at Bohan's mercy. And this I know. Some men show no mercy. Kai. I have to find Father. You keep watch till we return. We may need you to play Twing Twang.
Yes, Noriko. We'll find a place to hide. Won't we?
Find a way. Okay, see if there's anything around here. Now, if I remember correctly, this was actually what was the playable demo, this section here.
What in hell is that? Cut the roads! Hey! Get up here!
Oh, new combos. Okay. No, I think you guys are going home in splats. Certainly one way to make an entrance. Oh, bigger guys. Okay, unblockable attacks. Bouncy bodies. Right. Here. God, that running animation is a bit weird. No, it's all nice and peaceful. Find a way to the banquet hall. Okay. Right, okay. So... Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh. Got to get a particular angle to get this right, I think. There we go. Yeah, those dual picture sections are quite intensive on the system. Oh, hello.
I've been watching you, Nariko. You fight with style. Hello, style.
Oh, it's one of these kind of people.
Perhaps you're here looking for your father. I say you might have a troubling time finding All the pieces. Get her.
Ah, yeah, send your minions first.
Try not to die too fast. I hate it when people die too quickly. That goes for all of you.
This guy's annoying. Who's left?
Yeah, nothing like your father. He had...
I think it just crashed. Yeah, it just crashed. Oh, that's not going to be good if it's going to crash there. Doesn't seem to... Right, let's... Okay, I've closed the whole thing down. Even Steam thinks it's still running, so something is completely locked up. Yeah, something's still running in the background. Let's close that. There we go. Yeah. Okay, let's try again. I'm not sure where it will bring us in. So hopefully it won't bring us to the beginning of that whole chapter. Come on. It's always painfully slow getting through these bits. Although this emulator does support save states, I'm not going to use them because for such a complex system, I don't trust them. Yeah, I'm not sure what the character's name is, but yeah, he is very annoying. As you can see, he likes the theatrics. I'm hoping it'll pick up at the beginning of that fight. Yes. Ah, the fox. Flying fox, it was a
I've been
day.
watching you, Nariko. You fight with style. Hello, style.
Yeah, gonna work.
Perhaps you're here looking for your father. I think you might have a troubling time finding all the pieces. Get her.
Okay, take two.
Try not to die too fast. Take it when people die too quickly. And that goes for all of you. only had as much spirit as a dead moth, but you are full of spirit. You are full of passion.
Yeah, you're a weirdo. The wrong kind of weirdo.
Death in the air. So much torture. So much pain.
A little bit too close to the camera there. At the moment, that's the only ability I've got there, but if you look at the top left-hand corner of the screen, there's that little circle with the 3 notches in it. At the moment, I've only got 1 open. But as I get through the game, more of them will open up. Now you...
Our vixen needs feeding. Who's going to be next? Volunteers! Hey, come here!
I don't want to be next.
What?
I don't want to be next.
That's what I said. Boring! Volunteers! Oh,
Okay, I think this should be the last lot. Yes. Okay.
Oh, it's so refreshing to see someone who knows how to find a little eloquence. Yes. I'm in.
This is a little trickier now. Right, let's get rid of him. There's the last guy. Okay, am I going to get to fight you now? Ah, you weren't dead.
Tell me, Nariko, do you know how to die?
Do you? Okay. Seems to be the only thing. Ow. Okay, I'm nearly dead. Okay, that healing bit was nice and useful.
Utterly average. You need more time.
He's a dick. Right, I think at this point I'm going to have a quick break. I'm glad we managed to get past that section, because if it had crashed again, that would have suggested it was getting into a bit of a habit of that, which some emulators do have. And as I say, it's still experimental, so there's every possibility I might not be able to finish. I said that earlier, didn't I? Anyway, I'm going to go for a quick break, so I shall be back in about 10 minutes. Those of you who are watching the VOD on YouTube, that'll be the end of the first half of the stream video, and the second half will be probably up by the time you're watching this. So yeah, for everyone who is live on Twitch right now, I should be back in about 10 minutes, so don't go anywhere.